れる NHK プラス、 NHK 総合テレビ E テレのリアルタイムはもちろん、見逃してしまった番組を放送終了後から1週間見ることができるんです。 NHK の受信契約をしている人とそのご家族なら追加の負担はありません。手続きは簡単。ホームページにアクセスし、必要な情報を入力すればすぐにご利用になれます。行ってこい。
エブリバディ。朝ドラ史上初3世代のヒロインを描く物語。う
ちのあんこは絶品なんです。
上白石萌音さんが演じるヒロインは和菓子屋の看板娘立花靖子。
あんこ久しぶりじゃな。
安子、
明日の朝ラジオつけておいて。
ラジオエゴ講座と出会い、靖子の運命が動き出します。
日向の道を教えてくれ。あんつもやあらかんや誰もアホ。
激動の昭和から現代まで続く100年のファミリーストーリー。
あなたと日向の道を歩いていきたい。
11月1日スタート。
私たちはあなたと一緒にを大切にしたい。今日も明日も公共メディア NHK。
スピードスケート
フィギュアスケート、ショートトラック、これらは異なる競技だが共にスケートという表情を滑走する仲間でありファミリーだ。そして選手だけではない、競技を支える人、応援してくれる人、スケートを楽しむ人、みんなで一つの仲間、ファミリーだ。
そう、僕たちはスケートファミリーなんだ。
競技に関わらずスケートに携わる全ての人たちが一つになること。選手も支え応援する人も純粋にスケートを楽しむ人が一つになること、それこそが日本のリンクに明るい未来を灯す。スケートファミリーという大きな輪が輝かしい未来を導くのです。
そう、あなたもスケートファミリーの一員なのです。僕も
そしてこの大きな輪がスケートをますます魅力的にしていきます。
私たちはあなたと共に目指す。私たち日本が世界で一番スケートが強く盛んで愛されている国になること、スケート王国日本を樹立すること。
スケートアワード。
If you dream of standing ovations, gold medals, and record-breaking times, know one thing. The track to glory will always be clear. There will be bumps along the way. Tears will be shed. Limbs will be bruised. And so will egos. But however hard you fall, however bad you fail, you must always get up again. Up again. Up again. To rule the ice, you need to silence the critics, including the ones in your own head. Be proud of who you are. When others want you to hide, don't be afraid of what might happen. Embrace the future instead. Because to be a champion like me, to reach a higher level, you have to take risks and learn from your mistakes. Only then will you get up again. Up again. Up again.
2021 NHK 杯国際フィギュアスケート競技大会アイスダンスフリーダンスの競技を開始いたします。
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the ISU Grand Prix of Figure Skating 2021 NHK Trophy. In a few minutes, we will begin the competition for ice dance, free dance.
はじめにご来場のお客様にお願い申し上げます。会場内は禁煙です。おタバコをお吸いの際は所定の喫煙所をご利用ください。お席でのお食事は
We return to the Yoyogi National Gymnasium in Tokyo for the second of 4 events here at the International Skating Union NHK Trophy. We've seen the pairs event won by the Russian world champions Mishina and Galyamov. And now we look to the free dance with reigning world champions Sinitsina and Salapov leading after the rhythm dance. All of the ice dancers so appreciative of this wonderful Japanese audience that we have. And there you see the stats after the rhythm dance as we look into the final segment of the competition for the dancers. And fascinating to see an ice dance event with 2 strong Japanese ice dance teams. Japan, notorious for its strength in the men's and women's fields, but not renowned for its depth of ice dance. And it'll be a well fought battle between the 2 teams here in Tokyo. It's an incredible stadium, primarily used for ice hockey, used recently for the Tokyo 2020 games where the handball competitions were held here.
In addition, we kindly ask you to refrain from cheering vocally.
Wonderful
Please show
venue.
your appreciation to the skaters with your applause. We remind you that smoking is prohibited in the arena and flash photography as well as video recording are not allowed. Please set your phones to silent mode. Also, please do not throw any items such as gifts and flowers onto the ice at any time. We thank you very much for your cooperation.
Shortly we will be introduced to the judges and the technical panel. 7 judges from 7 different skating nations for the ice dancers here.
The ISU, the International Skating Union, please welcome the referee, Ms. Lolita Labunskaya. Judge number 1, Mr. John Millier, USA.
America. 2番ジャッジ
Judge number 2, Ms. Anastasia Makarova, Ukraine.
ウクライナ3番ジャッジ
Judge number 3, Mr. Sho Kagayama, Japan.
日本4番ジャッジ
Judge number 4, Ms. Julia Andreeva, Russia.
ロシア5番ジャッジ
Judge number 5, Mr. David Munoz, Spain.
スペイン6番ジャッジ
Judge number 6, Ms. Janice Hunter, Canada.
カナダ7番ジャッジ
Judge number 7, Ms. Marketa Horkulova, the Czech Republic.
チェコ技術役員
The technical panel.
テクニカルコントローラー
The technical controller, Ms. Halina Gordon-Poltrak.
テクニカルスペシャリスト
The technical specialist, Ms. Julia Ray.
アシスタントテクニカルスペシャリスト
The assistant technical specialist, Ms. Nakako Tsuzuki.
And there we saw Halina Gordon-Poltrak, the chair of the ice dance technical committee, who make so many of the rules for these ice dancers. They are getting ready to take to the ice. We will see the first 4 teams in this warm-up. Both of the Japanese entrants.
The skaters in Group 1 will take the ice.
第1グループの選手を滑走順にご紹介いたします。
From Russia,
ソフィア・シェフチェンコ、イーゴリ・エレメンコ組。
from Ukraine,
アレクサンドラ・ナザロワ、マキシム・ニキティン組。
from Japan,
小松原美里、ティム・コレト組。
from Japan,
村本佳奈、高橋大輔組。
skaters, please start your 5-minute warm-up.
So 5 minutes for the ice dancers in their warm-up. And it must be an incredibly nerve-wracking experience for the 4 skaters on the ice representing Japan. They will be only too mindful about the need to score big here to help secure a spot at the Olympic Games. Only 1 spot available for Japanese ice dancers in Beijing. And 2 very strong teams, both more than capable of well representing the nation on the biggest stage of all. Shevchenko and Eremenko find themselves bottom of the pile after the rhythm dance. Just 9/10 of a point separate them and the Ukrainians.
NHK 杯には2年前に続き今回が2回目の出場です。ソフィア・シェフチェンコ、イーゴリ・エレメンコ組。2番、アレクサンドラ・ナザロワ、マキシム・ニキティン組、ウクライナ。
A really experienced team, competed at ISU championship level multiple times. And I think potentially some of the best lifts in the event will come from this Ukrainian duo. And they share the same coach as the leaders. Alexander Julin rinkside supporting them here.
小松原美里、ティム・コレト組、日本。結成6シーズン目。
You can hear the glorious applause from these wonderful fans cheering on the first of the 2 Japanese teams.
総合得点でパーソナルベストを更新する活躍を見せ、北京オリンピックの日本の出場枠を獲得しました。
Komatsubara and Kalito acknowledging the understandable nerves and completely comprehensible anxiety about the pressure on this event. And the most successful skater on the ice. Already Takahashi has an Olympic medal. He's not in the ice dance field. Fascinating tale of one of the world's greatest male figure skaters returning to compete. And it's now over 11 years since he won that world title in Torino. Shevchenko and Yeremenko on our screen, eager to help solidify their position within the Russian ice dance ranks. This event will be so closely scrutinized and followed by ice dancers the world over, federations around the globe. Keen to see how the stats lie up. Cannot hide from the fact that this is a monumentously important year. And ordinarily, all of the skaters will be vying to work towards the end of the season at World Championships.
1 minute
It's a
remaining
rather
in the
big
warm-up.
occasion happening in Beijing next February before that dominates the brain space of these skaters, I am sure. And the costumes of the ice dancers showcase such different stylistic approaches to the free dance. Much less restriction on the music choice for the skaters, unlike in the rhythm dance where street dance was the required theme. Here it's just important that the skaters' music choice has an audible, rhythmic and clear beat for the vast majority of the 4-minute piece. Irina Zhuk, coach for Shevchenko and Yeremenko, offers her final words of wisdom and encouragement to the athletes, and they look really respectful.
Sofia Shevchenko, Igor Eremenko組, Russia.
Number 1, representing Russia, Sofia Shevchenko and Igor Eremenko.
So the free dance event will close with the Russian world champions taking to the ice, but here starting the free dance at the NHK trophy, Sofia Shevchenko and Igor Yeremenko. Great creativity and originality through the stationary lift. Interesting skid before the start of the twizzles. And a massive pattern with lots of ice coverage for their circular step sequence. And to me, an immeasurably better performance for the Russian team to the rhythm dance. Really interesting and novel music choice, but opportunity to showcase their fundamental skating skills, and to me, a better vehicle for them than the hip hop that they had yesterday. They come from the same school as Stepanova and Buchan, who we saw on the podium last week at the Italian Grand Prix in Torino. Coaches Alexander Svinin and Irina Zhuk, responsible for so many strong Russian teams, particularly on the junior ranks. But here Shevchenko and Ermenko validating their inclusion here at a senior Grand Prix. And it's just 9/10 of a point that separate them from the Ukrainians. But I suspect coming into the event, Sofia and Igor will have been eager to place ahead both of the Japanese teams as well, or at least vie for contention for that. This difficult variations, and this a unique and novel position change within that stationary lift. This the twizzles, the leg positioned as a leg feature. And unlike in the rhythm dance, the couples must connect in this, the synchronized twizzles within the free dance. Different requirements for the twizzles from the free dance to the rhythm dance. An opportunity to be more creative as well. Some solid contemporary choreography. And great slow-mo shots there. His counter, just a slight change of edge on that forward inside counter. That'll be the type of turn that the technical panel will be looking at to ascertain the level awarded for the circular step sequence, and it looks like it's just coming up as a level 1 at present. So there'll be feedback for the athletes after the event from the judges and the technical panel on what can be improved moving forward. Two years ago, the couple competed here at the NHK Trophy, and they posted their personal best at that event of 108.49 and finished in 7th place, so they'll be eager to push toward it.
Shevchenko Eremenko組の得点 94.96 総合得点 160.13.
So again, not the score that the couple were hoping for. But we'll see how that compares against the remaining 3 couples in this warm-up group.
Alexandra Nazarova, Maxim Nikitin組 Ukraine.
Number 2, representing Ukraine, Alexandra Nazarova and Maxim Nikitin.
They are already Olympians. The Ukrainian team of Alexandra Nazarova and Maxim Nikitin. Fabulously difficult entry into their twizzles. And that, their choreography slide, the first of 3 choreographic elements to be used in the free dance for all the teams. And again, such originality in their choices with the lifts. Get the level 4 straight line. This phenomenal curve lift. And great fun to finish backstage romance for Nazarova and Nikitin. And you can see visibly exhausted, and understandably and deservedly so, after that energetic free dance for the Ukrainians. And whilst the skating skills are not as strong as those of the couples we will see yet to come in the competition, total respect to the couple for what they bring in terms of originality, particularly within the lifts. The straight line lift and the curve lift, to me, novel, dangerous and unique. And interestingly, on the feedback we're seeing, not sure it's been rewarded as much as I might have given them credit for in regards to the grades of execution. Looking back at the rhythm dance scores, this couple, the GOEs, given by the judges, few +3s, the maximum grade of execution allowed +5, and this couple tending to receive more 0s, 1s and 2s, and we'll see later on the couples often being rewarded with the maximum grade of execution. But what's certainly most weighted is the skating skills and the novelty of this difficult entry. And the changes of position as the feature whilst he maintains the spread eagle. And the 1 foot exit for him, not given huge amounts of credit. And this, the curve lift, Just an epic balance point. But it's flow and glide over the ice which reigns supreme in the judges' minds, I'm sure. And we will go on to see couples with more ice coverage, power and speed later. No points awarded to Alexandra for the impressive hair creation. But nice to see some of her personality coming out. She had a fabulous hair piece in the rhythm dance as well.
ナザロワ・イキティン組の得点 99.31 総合得点 165.38 現在の順位は第1位です。
The total score for Alexandra Nazarova and Maxim Nikitin is 100.
Not a score Maxim wants to see,
which puts them currently in
but they
first
lead
place.
as we look towards the two Japanese teams.
3番小松原美里ティム・コレト組日本
Number 3, representing Japan, Misato Komatsubara and Tim Koleto.
Misato Komatsubara and Tim Koleto, or Takeri Komatsubara, as per his Japanese name, having gained Japanese nationality last year.
A story like mine should never be told. For my role is as forbidden as it is fragile. Without its mysteries, it cannot survive.
Fantastic curve lift as their second element. These are not the memoirs of an empress. These are memoirs of another kind. And finishing with an emphatic choreographic slide movement. And continuing their storytelling right to the very end as the Japanese fans take to their feet. This couple had been unable to return to Montreal to their training base, and thus back to Colorado Springs, where Tim's family live. And they were saying that training at altitude in the World Arena in Colorado Springs has helped to improve their fitness levels for this event. As I say, that storytelling maintained till the end point. They worked with Kotaro Kataoka, a kabuki actor who taught them some traditional movement to express Japanese beauty for this Sayuri free dance that they use. And Roman saying very good. And when your coach is the coach of the 4-time world champions Papadakis and Cizeron, and he says it's good, you've done a stellar job. And they should be incredibly proud. I think it's a real challenge for this team to be able to enjoy this event freely for the experience it offers without being consumed with the awareness of the Olympic selection impact it has. And they will be undoubtedly disappointed to be over 2 points, over 2.5 points below Kana Muramoto and Daisuke Takahashi, who are next to skate after the rhythm dance. It's a little like the quandary that the Spanish ice dancers face, where we have two incredibly strong teams, only one Olympic berth available for their nation. But the program construction, really good, as we would expect from any of the teams from the Ice Academy of Montreal. Great musicality here in the straight line lift. Difficult entry, and this arm movement, perfectly on music, forcing judges to give bigger grid of execution, as is the facial expression. They had been second to Kana Muramoto at the Japanese Nationals in 2018 when she was then with a different partner, Chris Reed, and they saw them take the Olympic berth. Now they find themselves competing again against Kana, but now this time with a different partner. Tim gesturing to his heart how much they appreciate the audience.
The scores, please.
They were sixth at Skate America.
And this is the season's best score.
Great to see. Husband and wife team celebrating a season's best. Well done, Misato Kumatsubara and Tim Kalito.
72.20, which brings them currently in first place.
Muramoto Kana, Takahashi Daisuke Yumi, Nippon.
Number 4, representing Japan, Kana Muramoto and Daisuke Takahashi.
Exciting times to see the development of this Japanese team, Kana Muramoto and Daisuke Takahashi. such control to hold the 1 foot glide feature forward from Daisuke. Incredibly difficult entry into the stationary lift. Masses of ice coverage through the twizzles. Beautiful skating to La Baya there for Muramoto and Takahashi. And between them, they have experienced 4 different Olympic Games. And they are endeavoring to experience one together as ice dancers. And Japanese flags resplendently waving around the venue. Daisuke, the eldest skater competing here. But interesting to note that there are others in the competition who have been fans of his for many, many years. And I'm sure Daisuke comes to this experience with a whole different perspective and appreciation for competition. All too often, the skaters are so consumed with pressure and exhaustion from training that it's easy to lose sight of why they do it and how indulgent it is as a time in their lives training for these big events. But it's 8 years since Daisuke competed here at the NHK Trophy, and in that time, I'm sure his appreciation for the sport and for competition has grown and grown. And there were some fabulous moments within the free dance, which were real testament to his strength. Notably, this in the rotational lift, his control with the 1 foot rotational feature, just about now. Very impressive, as was the straight line lift, holding the 1 foot glide feature forwards, which is considerably more difficult than doing it backwards. But it's this kind of element which he will never have had to do as a competitive single skater when he won his world title. And there, that slight bobble is likely to have dropped him a level within the synchronized twizzle element. Praise must also go to Kana Muramoto for having the bravery to skate with a non-ice dancer. She too, a very experienced young woman. And she, indeed, the first Japanese ice dancer to win a medal at the ISU Championships when she won bronze at the 4 Continent Championships in 2018 with her former partner Chris Reed, who tragically passed away. I'm sure she has done just as much hard work and graft in the creation of that brilliant work which we've just seen, but remains to be seen how will it stack up and compare. Big score. Muramoto and Takahashi cementing their position as the leading Japanese team so far this season. Exciting times for Kana and Daisuke. Well, the competition within the competition between the Japanese teams has completed, and it is Muramoto and Takahashi who are victorious. A 7.3 point lead over Komatsubara and Kalito. But it is here where the medals will be decided.
The skaters in Group 2 will take the ice.
And the event will finish with the reigning world champions, Sensino Katsalapov.
From Canada, from Spain, from Great Britain, from USA, from Russia, skaters, please start your 5-minute warm-up.
So 2 teams in this warm-up group lying with 76 points after the rhythm dance, and 2 teams with 86 points. So a fight for gold and a fight for bronze. Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Laga, the former junior world champions, I'd like to think they have a chance of sneaking onto the podium as well. 5 dance teams in this warm-up, and the dancers always having to be so mindful of each other and sequins, which drop off these elaborate costumes and can pose hazard to the skaters. Marjorie Lajoie just picking up something from the ice surface there to protect herself and the other teams. This couple using the same music as they did last year. And this is where it can be challenging. The ice dance warm-up is always so terrifying, with the teams changing direction constantly at such speed. Be really careful out there. And the first Spanish ice dance team ever to medal on the Grand Prix circuit. They are no longer the only ice dance team from Spain to boast that statement, after Olivia Smart and Adria Diaz secured bronze in Skate Canada 2 weeks ago. And now the Brits, with their ever exciting music choices this year, choosing to use music from the Lion King soundtrack, and a brilliant free dance it is too. They've cemented their position as a team with unique and entertaining free dance choices. And this, another great one to add to the collection. Here's the alien and the astronaut. Madison Chalk and Evan Bates skating to Daft Punk, creating a storyline with their free dance like no other. They narrowly lost to Hubble and Donahue in Las Vegas, but find themselves close to world champions Sinitsina. Sarapov. No signs of the rumored back injury for Nikita in their dance performance, full of energy and conviction. Lots of judges giving them the maximum 10 points within the component scores in the rhythm dance. It was Victoria's technical elements which dropped their score a little bit. And there you can see again Chalk and Bates having to take right of way there over the Russians. They were in the left. All couples must just be so eagle-eyed within these practices to avoid danger.
1 minute remaining in the warm-up.
It's a completely different stylistic approach to the costuming. You can see from the couple first to take to the ice as to the Russians, and this the Spanish team topped by Russian world champion. The Russians and Spaniards going for a much more understated look as opposed to the teams from the Ice Academy of Montreal. Lila and Lewis looking resplendent in gold, as are Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Lagat, winners of the Best Costume Award in many people's eyes. And my personal favourite, Madison Chalk, forever perfectly presented. Costumes designed and created often by Mathieu Caron.
練習時間終了です。選手の皆さんはリンクサイドにお上がりください。
The warm-up is over. Skaters, please leave the ice. Thank you.
Marjorie Lajoie, Zachary Lagat, Canada.
Number 5, representing Canada, Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Lagat.
They were junior world champions in 2019, and their energy in the rhythm dance was incredible. You can expect more of the same now in the free dance for Lajoie and Lagat. We've used the same lift for multiple seasons, such a great balance point. And straight from the stationary lift into the rotational. And as with their rhythm dance, super energetic. The Birds of Paradise skating to music from the Rio soundtrack. There have been changes to the program as they use it for another year to develop and enhance. And a great vehicle for this team. Youthfully exuberant energy. Marjorie has worked as an actress, and you can see that expression capability within her performance on the ice as well. Also testament to the good human that she is. She recently organized an atypical skating charity event to raise money for an autism foundation. Her younger brother, Charles Etienne, is autistic, and she happy to raise money to support the Autism Foundation. Particularly admirable. So often we skaters have to be so selfish in our pursuit of competitive success, focusing so much of our energies on and off the ice into our competitive pursuits. And that the transition whereby they must touch in between the first and second twizzle, and then using, as so many teams do, a third twizzle as the final feature. And this, the legs cantilever away from the body. He in that outside spread eagle position, whilst they may appear to be aesthetically brilliant positions, they're serving a purpose to make the technical panel give them a higher level as well. Perhaps not as refined and clean as the Japanese team, Muramoto and Takahashi, but certainly more speed, ice coverage and energy.
The scores, please.
Phenomenal costume, enhanced with the mask too. Personal best of 115 at the Four Continents, February of 2020. Getting close to that kind of form.
And this is their season's best score.
総合得点 187.38 現在の順位は第1位です
The total score for Marjorie Lajoie and Zachary Lana is 187.38, which brings them currently in first place.
Number 6番サラ・ウルタドキリル・ハリアビン組スペイン
Number 6, representing Spain, Sara Hurtado and Kirill Kaliabin.
Well, stark contrast in the costuming from the Birds of Paradise, Lajoie and Laga, but looking as classy and refined as ever for the Spanish team, Hurtado and Kaliabin. Good save from Kirill on the 1 foot feature in the curve lift. Fantastic choreographic sliding movement. And brilliant choreographic dance lift to finish, buying a stairway to heaven. Heaven would be a ticket to the Olympics, I think. They've been together. She's been also in 2014 when she represented Spain at the Olympic Games with Adria Diaz, but it's now Adria Diaz and Olivia Smart she battles with for that one Spanish ice dance slot at the Games. And just so difficult to compare and contrast. The Zorro music used by Smart and Diaz for their free dance scored 115.96 in Skate Canada, securing them their first Grand Prix medal. What will the Led Zeppelin free dance music choice secure for Sara and Kirill? They had mistakes in Finlandia free dance when they were beaten by Smart and Diaz there. A couple of dicey tight moments here as well. But he did a great job salvaging that curve lift. He seemed to get onto the 1 foot feature really early and struggled to control it. She's just so striking on the ice. Kirill, a father now. His son Damien was born October 2020, a pandemic baby. And total respect to Kirill for maintaining this level of fitness with a newborn. And here, like Hubble and Donahue, playing with the rules, allowing the arms to go above the head. This can't happen for more than 2 seconds within the dancer's lifts. I loved the choreographic slide with Sara in the split. Lots of nice touches and particularly great musicality section just after the stationary lift, a side-by-side section which really embraced every nuance of the music. As did this. Their third choreographic movement, the choreographic dance lift, Stairway to Heaven. She high aloft, looking upward. That surely has to be rewarded by the judges in the composition component score, where they're looking for purpose. How will this compare?
And
this is their season's best score.
Season's best, but I think a little nod of the head, shrug of the shoulders belies some other thoughts regarding that score. But thank you to them for some brilliant pieces in that, the Led Zeppelin free dance.
First place. Number 7, representing Great Britain, Laila Fear and Lewis Gibson.
They were 4th at the NHK Trophy in 2018, 4th in 2019, but they find themselves in the bronze medal position here in 2021. Brilliantly difficult feature on the entry to the curb lift. Problems for Lewis, struggling through the second twizzle, dropping levels. And safely through the choreographic slide at the end of the program that caused them issues in Vancouver. Well done, Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson. The British team making their case for another medal on the Grand Prix circuit. They had a third place at Skate Canada a couple of seasons ago. And soaking up now the appreciation from the crowd who are on their feet. And Lewis was one of the skaters vocal about his respect and appreciation for Daisuke Takahashi. Lewis used to try and emulate the steps and movement of Daisuke as a single skater when Lewis competed in the singles discipline as well. And now here he is, beating one of his idols, which really is a moment to savor for the young Scot. And wonderful to see them soaking it in, taking the time to appreciate this special moment for the couple. And I'm sure that they were frustrated after Skate Canada with little mistakes that kept them off the podium.
Yeah, it was really fun.
And that's just the best possible thing to hear. That was fun, very fun. She's got a great head on her shoulders. Lila has a successful podcast, The Lila Joe Show. She's obviously been raised well to appreciate these special moments. This couple made huge strides from the 2018 Worlds, in which they were 24th, and then jumping 11 places for the 2019 Worlds. That was the mistake for Lewis, so checking the 3 turns on the second twizzle, which forces the technical panel to drop level. And good of excuse as well, but he did well to come back from that. Such as his strength as a single skater, tapping into all that quad strength to survive the twizzles. And here, great levels of expression, and I've really seen confidence development in Lila as well. Training in Montreal, surrounded by so many brilliant female ice dancers with lots of experience, and they have tapped into that. And now inspiring others, youngsters beneath them as well.
The scores, please.
フィアー・ギブソン組の得点 115.48 総合得点 191.91 現在の順位は第1位です。
The total score for Lila Fear and Louis Gibson is 191.91.
So another medal on the Grand Prix circuit for Lila Fear and Louis Gibson from Great Britain.
8番マディソン・チョックエヴァン・ベイツ組アメリカ
Number 8, representing USA, Madison Chalk and Evan Bates.
She, the alien, he, the astronaut, for this novel free dance to music from Daft Punk for Chalk and Bates. Oh, disastrous start down for Evan. Nightmare for the couple, not what they were hoping to start with. Need to get back into the straight line lift. Well done for still finding the musical reference there. Catching back up on time. Impeccable synchronicity to the twizzles. Poor Evan. What a shame. And he looks to have cut his ear as well, perhaps on the costume coming out of the lift. It's such a brilliant, brilliant free dance. And the concept is hard to comprehend when you hear that they're going to portray that of an alien and an astronaut. And yet, as the season is progressing, it's developing, and all the reserves of their experience had to be tapped into to channel that expression, knowing that their chances of winning this event dissipated within the first few seconds with that fall from Evan. But I have a huge respect for this team. They have reinvented themselves and continue to develop, and potentially amongst some of the top teams in the world, I think they've improved the most. And as with all the athletes competing here, this is a seismically important season. The rest of it was very good, says Patch Patrice Lauzon. Oh, dear. Just clipping his blades. And they both did well to find the musical reference for this epic straight line lift, which is stunning. And then recover with the following element, the twizzles. And this, the arm choice, one arm above the head, but their left hand, and then the arm is through this, the third twizzle. So well matched, particularly from the angle which the judges see it. And I'd like to think the grade of execution for that element is big, as should be for this, the choreographic slide. Original, unique, and novel in fitting with this theme that they're going with. And I also really appreciated the diagonal step sequence, change of music phrasing, and I could sense storytelling change within the dynamic of the alien and the astronaut. Maybe I'm looking for what I want to see, but I think it's a brilliant piece of work that took bravery to choose. And there are quite a few teams vying for the bronze medal at the Olympic Games. Hubble, Donoghue, Gillis Poirier, Chalk and Bates.
The scores, please.
And I just sincerely hope that they aren't despondent from that fall and go back to Montreal, train hard, and keep themselves very much in contention for it.
The total score for Madison, Chalk, and Evan Bates is...
Judges forced to go down on some of the components because of the fall, so that score, understandably, would have been much higher.
Number 9, representing Russia, Victoria Sinitsina and Nikita Katsarapov.
They wouldn't have liked being so close to the Americans after the rhythm dance, but now it's important that they secure a big score when they're compared to the French from last week's Italian Grand Prix. Close throughout the twizzles, followed by beautiful inside spread eagles. Perfect musicality for their stationary lift. Nod of approval from both Sinitsina and Katsalapov. The first time that we have seen them internationally competing since their win in Stockholm in March. It's like watching a reinvention of Tatiana Navka. Victoria looking more and more like Tatiana Navka, gold medalist with Roman Kostomarov in the 2006 Winter Olympics in ice dance, and they share the same coach, Alexander Zhulin, responsible for the success of Navka and Kostomarov. And will he be victorious again at the Olympic Games in 2022? And some may argue that their win in Stockholm in March was largely due to the absence of the French four-time world champions Papadakis and Cizeron. I think signaling there that there was a moment within the choreographic step where Victoria lost awareness of where to go. There's a slight look of hesitance within that. But we mustn't forget that Sinitsina Katsalapov did beat Papadakis and Cizeron at European Championships in 2020 before the pandemic cancelled that year's World Championships. And so they have every right to expect that they could be favourites for the Olympic title. And Sinitsina and Katsalapov are a relatively newish team compared to some of the other front runners. Hubble and Donahue, the Americans, teamed up in 2011. Chalk and Bates, who we've just watched, they too have had 10 years of training together. And Papadakis and Cizeron 16 or 17 years together, having formed their partnership so young. Whereas Sinitsina and Katsalapov teamed up in 2014 after Nikita won bronze at the Sochi Olympics with Elena Ilinik. And interesting that they have chosen Rachmaninoff, classic, tried and tested classical music, the kind of vehicle that's known to do well in the Olympic year, not being adventurous with anything novel, going with something that's very judge-friendly. Let's see what this panel of judges thinks of it. The world record score for the free dance, 136.58 from their biggest rivals, the French.
The scores, please.
シニツィナ・カツァラポフ組の得点 129.11 総合得点
It's big. No surprise that they're the winners here, especially on the back of the mistake from Chalk and Bates. We'll see them again at the Rostelecom Cup in Russia.
以上をもちましてアイスダンスフリーダンスの競技を終了いたします。
Chuck and Bates backstage. And there are fascinating pictures there. Lewis Gibson hugging Daisuke Takahashi, one of his idols from many years ago. Brilliant to see. So the lead is increased for Sinitsina and Katsalapov over Chuck and Bates, with Lila Fear and Lewis Gibson increasing their margin too over the Spanish team. And the battle down below between the Japanese ice dancers finds 2010 world singles champion Daisuke Takahashi coming out on top. The fourth of the 6 in the events in the Grand Prix series is over for the ice dancers. And we look ahead to the singles events yet to come. And these fans will be delighted to cheer on the leaders after the short program, both hailing from Japan. Over 6,000 people came to watch the first day of events. The crowd expected to be even bigger for this, the final day of competition, before we look forward to seeing the exhibition performances tomorrow from the top finishing skaters in all 4 disciplines, as they can relax a little bit and enjoy performing for this audience, which has been beyond comparable over the last 18 months or so. Every single skater competing, appreciating the warmth and support being offered to them by the clapping Japanese fans, as we look to hear from the champions in the ice dance, Sinitsina and Katsalapov.
Congratulations to the champions for ice dance, Victoria Sinitsina and Nikita Katsalapov from Russia.
今シーズン初めてのグランプリシリーズ初戦での優勝、この NHK 杯も初優勝となりました。どんな思いでしょうか。
This is your first Grand Prix victory this season, and it's also your first NHK Trophy victory. Can you tell us how you feel?
Hello, everyone. Guys, I just want to thank every one of you for this fantastic support. It's something else. It's just incredible. Thank you so much. We love you.
We love skating in Japan so much, so thank you.
And we are really thankful to be here.
本当に皆さんこんにちは。まずはここにいらっしゃるお一人お一人すべての方にとにかくありがとうという気持ちを申し上げたいです。これだけの多大なるご支援をいただけるっていうのは本当に特別なことです。皆さんに感謝しております。私も日本が大好きです。そして皆様に感謝をとにかく申し上げたいと思います。
会場全体がお二人の演技に何か吸い込まれるようでした。どんな意識で臨んだんでしょう。
It felt like all of the spectators were sucked into your performance. So what were you thinking as you were performing on the ice?
You know, first of all, me and Vic today, we were trying to focus on ourselves. This music and program and these feelings are just between us. But somewhere in the middle of free dance, we felt this freedom, and we heard the support coming from the audience, and we were flying on the ice. I mean, in the feelings. Maybe we're not ready yet to give you like the greatest experience of this free dance, but we feel you, and we will work on and on for sure.
はい、まずは私とビクトリアはとにかく自分たちに集中して滑ろうと決めました。この音楽、そしてプログラム、この気持ちっていうのは私たち2人だけの間なんですけれども、実はフリーダンスの途中からどこからかとても自由な気持ちになり、そしてそこで観客の皆様の応援を非常に感じるというところがありました。それでまるで氷の上を私たちは飛んでいるかのような気持ちになったんですね。まだまだこれからもっと最高の演技をお見せできることもあるんではないかと思っていますが、とにかく本日は皆様の応援を胸にとてもいい演技をすることができました。
今年は北京オリンピックも控えています。どういうシーズンにしていきたいでしょうか。
With the Beijing Olympics coming up, what kind of season would you like to make this one?
The best in our lives, of course. We will try to work full out, and we are already trying to remember all the things that are happening this season, because this season, you know, it's special. It's Olympic season, so.
But we don't think about it all the time, so.
About the Olympics,
yeah,
like.
We just training, we just practice, and this is all we need.
There is still time to.
とにかく人生で最高のシーズンにしたいという思いのもとで私たちは全力を尽くそうと思っています。そしてやはり特別なシーズン、オリンピックシーズンだからこそこのシーズンに起きているすべてのことをずっと覚えていたいと思っています。と同時に常にオリンピックのことを考えているというわけではありません。毎日トレーニングを一生懸命し前進していくだけです。
ありがとうございました。Thank you so much.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
And just like the Russian champions in the pairs discipline, Mashina and Galyamov, a wonderfully open and honest interview from Sinitsina and Katsalapov. They too take command of their second language.
女子シングルフリースケーティングの競技は16時45分より開始いたします。
We have a short break before we return to see a very exciting event in the women's where Kaori Sakamoto leads the field after this short program. Join us for that shortly.
AI によって色をつけていくのです。
映像スターを大切に保存し、それを放送に活用していく NHK の大切な役割の一つです。
白黒で見ると大昔に思えた歴史も